All right, so if you're struggling to raise capital, it's probably because you're not really listed or investors can't find you. Oftentimes, a lot of investors are willing to invest, but when they do due diligence or they try to look you up on Google or their investor databases, you're just not showing up. And so, if you're not showing up in these places, then they're just going to pass, right? So, if you ever wondered how companies and firms and funds get listed on PitchBook or even on the SEC, I have a little tip that I'm going to walk you through in getting listed. It's actually fairly simple, but there's a bit more that can be done to really improve and increase your exposure and help with the capital raise. So I put this list of several places where you can submit, as well as the duration it takes in terms of how long you'll have a profile. And the two that I'll walk through is PitchBook, because that's the one I showed, and as the SEC. So with PitchBook, you can see there's a place to actually request your profile to be submitted. And you can add your company, your firm, your fund to PitchBook, and doesn't require you to actually have access, but by you putting yourself into PitchBook, you'll have a better chance of investors feeling like they can trust and put you in a better light when they're doing due diligence. So this is one way to do it, right? Just submitting your information and going back and forth. The second way is with the SEC. Now, with the SEC, you technically don't get this Form D created when you set up a fund or an entity, right? You actually have to go through a little bit of a process. And this page takes you to the place where you can go and set up your Edgar uh, access, but also gives you a CIK. And that CIK is what binds you into the SEC database, right? It takes a little bit of time, but once you get yourself in there, it will then add you to other databases that a lot of other investor tools tap into. And so if you're putting your website out there onto Google, that's one way of getting exposure, but really these other databases add that next level of authority. Finally, there are some other places where you can add yourself, major media, press release, even adding yourself to recruitment pages. All of that builds credibility. It shows that you're out there and that you're doing great things. That is the key thing that I've seen a lot of funds miss when they're trying to market or get themselves out there to people, is that when the investors do their due diligence and they can't find any information, they just do a quick pass. So if you want to see more, then just let me know and I can walk through a couple more areas on how we've been able to help other clients raise money and capital for their deals and for just into their funds in general. So let me know if this was helpful. Take care.